Okay, this is the interview with a service personnel who went to the Christmas Island where they did the nuclear explosions, nuclear testing. So we'll start off with a few questions. So what is your name?
Leslie.
Leslie. What age are you now?
I'm 81.
What age were you shipped out to Christmas Island?
17 and a half.
Okay. And what regiment were you assigned to?
The 38 Regiment Royal Engineers.
Okay. What year were you shipped out to Christmas Island?
January 1958.
Okay. And how many bombs were dropped on Christmas Island?
5.
How far away from the bombs were you?
Roughly about 5 kilometres.
And what PPE were you supplied with?
None whatsoever.
Okay. And how many people were on the island at the time?
Roughly about 2,500. But on other islands there's 24,000 all told.
Okay. And was it just the British?
No, there was the Americans, the French, Australian, plus the British. There was the Fijian army, they was out there.
Okay. And can you tell us of any bad effects that you have suffered after the radiation?
No, I've suffered none at all.
Right. And what about your colleagues? Have they suffered with any side effects from the radiation?
Oh yes, I've lost a few friends with radiation problems, bad stomachs, one thing or other.
And have you received any compensation for being exposed without any protective equipment?
No, none at all. The government didn't recognise it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and can you tell a few stories about living on the island?
Well, my job on the island was driving what they call a Bowser wagon. I went round the island delivering fresh water to different sites on the island. And that was my job all the time out there. And apart from, routine things what we did, but my main job was driving this here Bowser wagon.
Okay, and how did you live on the island? Where did you have buildings or tents?
I spent my 12 months in a tent, which was a bit tatty at the end.
Okay. Go through what happened when they dropped the bombs. What did you have to do?
We had to sit on the beach with our backs to the bombs and cover our eyes. Then they did the countdown from the plane, 20, 19 to 0, bomb gone, and then you just sat there and waited for it to explode with the bang, and then you felt the heat and the blast more or less smacked you in the back of the head. You with a thud. You could see the bones of your fingers in your hands, although your eyes was covered and closed. You still saw shadows of your bones. And the gentleman in front, you could see, oh, I didn't, but a gentleman said he saw his mates, the full body of skeleton, and he fainted.
What did you do after the bomb had gone off?
We just went back to work and carried on doing our normal jobs. We didn't have to go anywhere. We weren't tested or anything. We just carried on as normal. I don't remember one of the bombs that went off. It was brilliant sunshine, it was in the 90s, but there was no clouds, but then a cloud formed and it rained. It was ankle deep in water. Some of it I should imagine was radiation, but we just carried on as if nothing had happened.
What type of food did you eat on the island? Was it locally caught fish or?
Yes, fish. Yeah, we had no normal food because it was shipped in every day for us by plane or ship. We just had normal food rations. We ate the fish, but a year later, my mate was saying the Duke of Edinburgh went, and they said under no circumstances don't give him any fish to eat. Yet we had to eat it. So, but I've no ill effects at all.
You were saying that the Americans and Australians have received compensation. Is this true?
That's true. So I've been told, yes, they received it, but we didn't get anything. We've fought for 50 years to get compensation, but 2 or 3 years ago, maybe a bit longer, they had a debate in the Commons to say that they was giving a lot of money to the veterans from the First World War to present times, and I think it was I'm not sure on this point, but I think it was about 25 million they gave to the forces to be spread among all the soldiers, including the nuclear veterans. And one of the gentlemen analysed it, and it worked out that each veteran would get £4 compensation out the money, which I'm still waiting to get.
So what other stories do you have from the island?
Well, I broke my glasses while I was out there, and the only place I could go to was Hawaii. So I went to, they flew me out to Hawaii, and I went to the hospital to get my eyes tested and get my glasses repaired, but they said they'd let me know. Well, I went back to the barracks. It was an American barracks I went to, and I stopped there, and it was me and this lad from Scotland. We was out there for a month. Then they come to us and says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Well, waiting for my glasses." They said, "Well, you should have gone back the next day." So I said, "Well, nobody told us that we had to go back." So they says, "Right, you better catch the next plane back to the island." So we went on a decoder back to the island. So it wasn't my fault. I enjoyed it. Go around Pearl Harbour and Waikiki Beach. It was lovely. No, I can't think of anything else, other than, say, routine duties on the island. I was with a lot of nice lads who unfortunately are not here anymore, a lot of them. The island itself was, it was a nice island. It was very hot, We had cinema and everything. We played volleyball. Yeah, I was with some nice lads. We had a lot of fun, and we played volleyball and various other games. Went to the cinema. Although at times it did rain, but we just sat there in the open watching a film. We had ponchos on to keep dry if we could. But other than that, you know, I enjoyed it, but I would like to go back. I would like to see them bombs again, and I hope it never happens in this day and age.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll include some photographs, a picture of the plane that dropped the bombs, and I shall include a picture of the island